All right, Jeremy Veldman, Alex Craig, welcome to another episode of Memphis Turnkey TV. And today we're going to discuss flow and floor planning in these houses. Now, you walk through a property pre-rehab, one of the things you should look for is the flow of the house, how one room blends into the other room, the kind of the layout, where the kitchen is, where the living room is, basically the distribution of space within the house, because that factor is going to determine how sellable the house is, whether you're looking for a retail client or whether you're renting the house. And of course, we rent to a lot of people. So what do tenants look for in terms of flow in a house?
Well, they want the house to have space. Smaller houses are obviously a lot harder to rent out, but really in the space that we operate, I'd say the average square foot of the house is about 1,800. So in about an 1,800 square foot house, they like a living room and a den. That's a big deal. They'll call up and one of the first questions they always ask is to have a separate living room and den. So that's a big deal. They like the bedrooms to be a little bit bigger. So a lot of the newer houses that were built with the secondary bedrooms 2 and 3 were typically a lot smaller. Some of the older houses, in the space that we operate, the master bedrooms and the bedrooms overall are a little bit bigger. So they like closet space, and there's several things. We go on and on, but for the flow of the house, they like a living room, they like a dining room, kitchen, a little open floor plan on the kitchen, and separate dining room.
It's just kind of interesting that you mentioned a separate living room and a separate dining room. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that they look for. And the house that we're in right now, I love this house. I mean, it's a unique layout. This is actually a house that I wouldn't mind living in if I was in the market looking for something like this. I mean, nice big kitchen area where we're standing right now, mm-hmm. and it blends effortlessly into the den area, which, I mean, it's a huge den behind me. I mm-hmm. mean, you could easily fit 3 or 4 couches here, put a screen TV on the fireplace wall behind me. And I mean, it's like the ideal place to have a Super Bowl party, because the kitchen literally backs into the den area and everybody's involved. Nobody's left out.
Yeah, this house is really unique. Not every house is this open. I mean, this was a great house. It's been on the market for about a week, and we're receiving a ton of calls on it. We've already gotten a couple applications. We expect this house to be rented out. So this one's not as our normal floor plan, with it being this open. But like I said, most of the houses we buy, there is that separate living room and den, or the kitchen has a breakfast area separate from a dining room. So there's just a few more options, and tenants like that stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of houses we buy sometimes were built in the 70s and 80s, and they have more of that boxy style where you have a mm-hmm. separate room for the living room, a separate den, a separate dining room. And I know we talk about that's what tenants want. If you're looking to retail a house, however, one of the things to consider when you're evaluating a property is whether you could knock out some walls, open up space, maybe enlarge the kitchen or enlarge the living room area, or just make the space more open and flow better. We don't do that to a lot of our houses, because a lot of the properties we're selling are investment properties where we're going to be renting them out.
Sure, yeah, for investment property to open up or knock out a wall to open up a kitchen into a living room, that's not real necessary. But you're absolutely right. When you're retailing a house, the more open you can make it, the better. If you could incorporate a bar, if there's a wall, and then you could knock that wall out and have a bar to pull up to, that would definitely help out a lot too.
Yeah, just creative ways that you can add value to a house, mm-hmm. or play off of what already exists in the house to enhance it and add more value to it. That's why I love this property. Sure. Kitchen, big den area, separate living room up front with a fireplace, and then off to the right here, we actually have a loft area and then a sunroom downstairs. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can sort of envision a scenario where there's a party going on. I mean, whether it's a Super Bowl party,
right,
or maybe a separate party where you have the men in the den area watching the game, and then the women are maybe over in the loft area, right, mingling. I'm probably saying something very sexist right here, but if I am, then I apologize if I offended anybody. But you can kind of envision a lot of different scenarios in a house like this.
Well, sure. And we don't want a lot of parties at our places. So, we're a party-free zone company, and that's why we have vinyl plank flooring. If they throw a party, then it's a lot more durable. But yeah, other things that tenants really like is closet space. So a lot of the really older houses in Memphis didn't have a lot of closet space. So if we get in one of those really older 1920s and 1930 homes, we'll knock out some space to make an extra closet. Some of the bathrooms maybe don't have the space that it needs, and we'll go in there and add a kind of a newer vanity with more drawers and a medicine cabinet. So when we go in these houses, we really look at, does the house flow well? What do we need to do to make this house rentable? And we stay away from, because there's houses, you look at the curb, like, man, this house is great. And then it's like, well, the master bedroom is off the kitchen. So we like the houses that flow good. Like I said, on this one, you walk into the living room or the den, and then you enter the kitchen, off into the other living room, and then the bedrooms are all on one side of the house. So location of all the bedrooms and how the house is laid is really important. So make sure you're taking that in consideration too, so that the house is functionable. Unfunctional houses are really hard to rent.
Yep. Obsolete floor plans, stay away from them. So when you're walking through these houses initially, always be thinking in terms of what your exit strategy is, whether you're going to be selling the house or renting the house, and what your target market is going to be perceiving.
Okay.
So anyway, I know Alex has got to go. He's got a Grizz game he's got to catch. He's starving. He's about to. Where are you going to eat tonight? Where are you heading?
I got 3 kids. We don't go out in public that often.
Oh, okay.
People appreciate that, so we're going to eat at home.
Eat at home.
Watch the Grizzlies at home tonight.
4 games left until the playoffs. So Alex Craig, Jeremy Veldman, signing off. Another episode. Thanks for watching, guys, and check out our website again for more information on our listings, memphisturnkey.com, and for more episodes of Memphis Turnkey TV, check out our website, memphisturnkey.tv, and go Grizz.